Ms. Legalista here. Welcome to the video. I want to talk about Zelle. Now, I've talked about Zelle before, but there was something that caught my attention in this particular video, this investigation about what happened to this woman. There was something that she didn't do, and I'm asking myself, if you had done that, I think that would have helped. But let's go ahead and open this up so that you can hear what happened.
Well, millions of people use Zelle, the money transfer service, to send money electronically instead of using cash or checks. And many of us have Zelle accounts through major banks like Chase or Bank of America.
But what would you do if your Zelle account was hacked and suddenly thousands of dollars just started disappearing from your bank account? You're about to meet a single mom from Spring Branch who's already lost almost $8,000. And she says she's getting no help in getting that money back, even though she reported this fraud was occurring way back in December. Bill Spencer investigates.
Cindy Little of Spring Branch is a lot more than a little furious over the way almost $8,000 was stolen from her Chase bank account through a series of money transactions through Zelle, the peer-to-peer money transfer service. It all started the day after Christmas.
I got an alert on my phone that I'd added a recipient on Zelle that I did not add. Questions, call this number. Called that number. It was Chase. I said, I don't know who this person is, but they've already taken $1,000 out of my account. And they said, yes, this is fraud. We'll give you the money back.
Cindy says the money.
Okay, let me stop right there. So one of the things that we always know to be careful about is even when you get a notification, whether it's a text message on your phone or an alert through your email that says it's from your bank, she said you went ahead, I guess, and contacted them. I am very much a proponent of making sure that don't click on that link in the email. Don't respond to the text notification. Dial independently. Contact them independently. Consider even going over to the bank and having that conversation with them. And then, as she just said, they said, hey, it is fraud. And at the time, we don't think about it, but that's a really good kind of conversation to record for future purposes.
Money was returned within days by Chase, but 1 month later, it happened again. She got a text telling her again she'd approved sending money to someone she'd never even heard of.
Now, at this point, I would really consider shutting the account down. I already don't understand why she just didn't go ahead and shut Zelle down. Like Zelle, you still have Zelle up and running. And I'm not trying to put fault and blame on her because we don't hear that part of the conversation a lot. A lot of times they say, oh, go ahead, make sure you contact us, let us know that it was fraud, and we will take it off. Nobody really has a lot of conversation about telling people to shut these accounts down. Like, stop the bleeding. Go ahead, stop the bleeding. Right now, they're engaging in Band-Aid treatment. We're going to put a Band-Aid on it. So it's just Band-Aid treatment instead of saying, let's completely stop the bleeding. Let's go in, take this account, shut it down, move my money to a totally new account. Yes, I have to spend lots of time setting all of these auto pays back up again, but at least my money's my money, right? I'm not sure why we're not talking about shutting these Zelle accounts down, even after that first instance where she said something happened.
Went on my Chase account. They had already taken out $1,000 again. Same thing, same routine. Called Chase. I don't know who this person is. Please lock my account. Make sure this doesn't happen again. No problem. Your account's secure. Everything is good.
But
No. Your account, how is your account good if it's already had somebody go into it twice and get money? How is your account good? Even if they tell you, oh, it's locked down. Depending upon what your financial situation is, you need to have a conversation with yourself, with your family, whoever else is dependent on those funds in your account that goes, well, the bank said it was okay, but that's the bank. What happens to me and my family if I lose all of that money that's in that account? If they were to somehow come back, because they've already been able to get it twice now, should I move my money? Can I afford to lose all of that money in that account? If you can afford to lose it, then fine. Just let it stay there and hope that the bank did lock it down. If you cannot, you seriously need to think about shutting that bank account down.
It wasn't good at all. Over the next 3 days, scam artists hacked Cindy's Zelle for $1,500, then another $5,400, then another $1,000 for a grand total of $7,900.
So within 3 days, there were 7 transactions, 6 of which were after I had already reported it as fraud.
And how much did they take all together from you?
$7,900.
And has Chase returned that money to your account?
No.
Since then, Cindy's filed a criminal case with the Houston Police Department, complaints to the FBI and the Federal Trade Commission, but Chase Bank has refused to return any money to her account, saying that Cindy herself orchestrated all of this herself and declaring they find no fraud whatsoever.
Finally.
Okay. Let me just stop here. Banks don't want to give you the money back. So they're going to deny. They might give it to you that first time. They give it to it that first time. They're going to deny it and say it's not fraud. They're going to ask you for documentation. Did you file a police report? Who did you report this to? What kind of information do you have about it? And now, as we see in this case, you may even be accused of having orchestrated the whole thing. Now, this is the point that she's at. Now, had she closed her account after that first one, had she shut down Zelle after that first one, but she's probably thinking, but the bank told me I was good. The bank told me it was fraud and that they had locked my account. Well, did you have that conversation with somebody over the phone? Did they give it to you in writing? Here's the problem. There is no real incentive on the bank's part to tell you to close your account and take your account someplace else, because then they lose your money and the fees that they may be charging, the interest that they can make off of your money while it's sitting in your account. They lose all of that. They don't necessarily want to lose you as a customer. They just don't want to have to pay you for any fraud that occurred on your account. So do you think the bank is ever going to tell you what is in your best interest or what is in the bank's best interest? And I'm not trying to shoot all banks down and say they're all horrible and they're all doing awful things, but you need to think about this from your perspective. Just because the bank is saying, okay, you're good, does not necessarily mean you're good. If they hacked it once, what's to make you think that they cannot hack it again? And so unfortunately, she relied on what the bank representative told her, but it was to her detriment and not theirs. And I really hate this for her. But the conversation needs to be, do I shut my account down? Do I shut my Zelle down? Shut the Zelle down. That's the first thing. Shut the Zelle down. The second thing is, maybe not do I shut my bank account down, but when do I shut it down? Once you find out somebody is accessing your money like that, it really is the next question that you should be asking yourself, and not whether or not the bank is going to be able to lock that account down.
At one point, they said you probably should just go ahead and admit that this was you that did this.
Coleman Ryan is a cyber detective with K-Griff Investigations who specializes in cyber crimes, and he has the #1 way all of us can protect ourselves from ripoffs like this one.
What is the best thing we can do, Coleman, to protect ourselves from getting hacked the way that Cindy has?
A two-step verification, multi-factor authentication is kind of the same thing. It's one more factor that changes that's never the same. What that means is if someone gets your username and password, they're still not going to be able to get in, and the victim's going to know about it.
Yeah, no doubt. Two-step verification is the way to go. Make sure you get it if you have a Zelle account. Now, I'm not just reporting on what happened to Cindy here. I'm trying to fix this for her. I'm trying to get Chase Bank to return that close to $8,000 that was taken from her account so she doesn't lose all of that money. I've already talked to Chase officials today, explained to them what has happened, and they're telling me simply right now, we're looking into this case.
All right. Thank you, Bill Spencer. Yes, looking into this case. Well, let's talk a little bit about the multi-factor authentication and some of those that do have the numbers that pop back up and that you have to check your phone and then provide the number. Well, I did one video where we talked about the woman who had her cell phone number transferred by Verizon after a scammer requested a phone, went in and said that was their number, and then they had access to her bank account. There is never anything that's going to be foolproof. Let me tell you that. Never anything that's going to be totally foolproof. What you're trying to do is lessen the extent to which a scammer or someone trying to get your money is going to be able to have that access to it. Lessening the opportunity for them. Okay, so that's what we want to think about here. Again, consider shutting your account down. Like I said before, it's not a conversation that we have all the time, but I think it's one of those we need to have at the top of the list. Go ahead, stop that bleeding. All right, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Mwah. Peace.